Let go of me! I am fasting! Sir, you must comply! Stop resisting! This is an outrage! Hey, move it! Now, you will answer for this!
Well, I guess they call it a holy war for a reason. The holiest sites on Earth are now under attack. You can see here a Iranian ballistic missile striking within the shadow of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, known as the Dome on the Rock. It sits above the Temple Mount, the holiest places in Judaism and Islam, right on top of each other and right down the street from the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, one of the holiest places in all of Christendom. Of course, everything has to be right down on the same block, and those blocks are now getting blown to bits. You can see here the old walls of Jerusalem crumbling, and this would have obviously devastated the Dome on the Rock. It wouldn't even be standing anymore. It's a very, very thousands-year-old building, and well, it would have been reduced to ashes and rubble had this been a direct hit, and that would have caused, again, a holy war, because these are the holiest places on Earth, and they're all clustered here in Jerusalem. You can see the ballistic missiles flying right over the Temple Mount here, and you can see them in the shadow of the Temple Mount landing and exploding here in another video. So this is happening on a near daily basis. Will one of these ballistics finally just strike the Temple Mount? Will they try and build the third temple? This is something that we've had our eye on, but we've also had our eye on just sort of dark times, end times signals, all within the region. And we know that if you are a Christian and you read your Bible, and the book of Revelation talks about the desecration of churches, the inability for Christians to be able to worship freely in the Holy Land. It talks about a third temple being built. Here you can hear the sirens wailing inside of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. You can hear the bomb sirens as they have shut down the church entirely. Now, many people thought that they were shutting down this church, and they were shutting down, of course, all holy sites for Jews, Muslims, and Christians alike, and that this was going to be something that the state of Israel simply imposes for people's security. But that's come into question now, because Israel has blocked the head Catholic figure from Palm Sunday Mass inside of the church that they own. So this goes kind of far here, and people are rightly, I believe, outraged by this. The incident marks the first time in centuries Palm Sunday Mass couldn't be celebrated where many believe Jesus was crucified, according to the last Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem. So what happened here? So the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is where Catholic tradition holds and Christian tradition holds that Christ was crucified, buried, and was resurrected. And so that makes it obviously the cornerstone holy site of Christendom. But for the first time, I think maybe ever, the Israeli forces have stopped even the Catholic patriarch named Cardinal Pizzaballa, Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, from entering the church. Now, they have already put to an end the Palm Sunday, which of course would be this Sunday, the Palm Sunday celebration, where thousands, tens of thousands of Christians go and walk to the church and march to the church and celebrate. But now they have really clamped down and not even allowed the patriarch of the church itself to go in there and perhaps to do like a live stream mass, something like that. They've shut the entire church down entirely, meaning they've taken the ability for the church to perform its Christian functions and closed it. Now, this, of course, is quite alarming. This morning, Israeli police prevented Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, his beatitude, forgive me, I'm not a Catholic, so I don't actually, perhaps some of these words I won't pronounce them correctly. Cardinal Pizzaballa, head of the Catholic Church in the Holy Land, together with the Custos of the Holy Land, Reverend Friar Francis Leppo, the guardian of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, from entering the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. They made their way to celebrate Palm Sunday Mass. The two were stopped en route while proceeding privately without any characteristics of a procession or a ceremonial act. Normally there's a very large parade, there's lots of people walking, they're waving palm fronds and things like that. And, there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Christians that descend upon the Holy Land in order to recreate Palm Sunday as Christ enters Jerusalem and they waved palms at him. This is the highest holy holiday, frankly, in Christendom, right? The death and resurrection of Christ is Christendom. This is the highest possible holiday. It seems like Israeli forces are preventing the celebration of that. But now they're stopping even the private celebration of that, which is an attack on Christendom, just point blank. As a result, for the first time in centuries, the heads of the church were prevented from celebrating Palm Sunday Mass at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The incident is a grave precedent and disregard the sensibilities of billions of people around the world who, during this week in Jerusalem, the heads of the churches who acted with full responsibility and since the outset of the war have complied with the imposed restrictions. Public gatherings were canceled, attendance was prohibited, and arrangements were made to broadcast the celebrations. Okay, that's what we thought. They were just going to do a live broadcast. Preventing the entry of the cardinal and the custos to bear the highest ecclesiastical responsibilities of the Catholic Church in holy places constitutes manifestly unreasonable and grossly disproportionate measure. This hasty and fundamentally flawed decision tainted the improper considerations represented extreme departure from basic reasonableness and freedom of worship. So, wow. They express profound sorrow to the Christian faithful in the Holy Land throughout the world that prayer in one of the most sacred Christian calendar days has been prevented. Ooh, baby. If this happened in reverse, right, to Muslims or to Jews, this would naturally be the biggest story on earth, and it is a very, very big story. This is a horrible act that has happened here. Church of the Holy Sepulchre is beautiful. And so instead, in the absence of the traditional procession, he stood outside of the city walls, it looks like in Jerusalem here, outside of the King David gate there. That's what he ended up doing. Ambassador Mike Huckabee popping off here, very interesting. My statement prohibiting the Latin Patriarch from entering the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. While the holy sites in the Old City remain closed due to safety, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Al-Aqsa Mosque, the action today by the Israeli National Police to deny Pizzaballa and 3 other priests from entering the church is unfortunate overreach, already having major repercussions around the world. Home front command guidelines restrict gatherings of 50 people or less. The 4 representatives of the Catholic Church were well below the restrictions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, what are you going to do about it? The Israeli forces here saying all safety and precautionary instructions in the Old City are a direct result of Iranian missile fire. So blaming the Iranians on it. Prime Minister office says over the past several days, Iran has repeatedly targeted holy sites. I don't know, man. People are popping off. Isaac Herzog saying, I just called the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem to express my great sorrow over this morning's unfortunate incident in the Old City. Okay. I clarified that the incident stemmed from security concerns due to the continuous threat of missile attacks in the Iranian terror regime following previous incidents. I reaffirmed the state of Israel's unwilling commitment to freedom of speech, so with freedom of religion. So what are you doing? Are you going to allow them to pray? Are you going to apologize to the church? The Pope here talking about the consequences of brutal conflict, and in many cases unable to observe the liturgies of the holy days. Raise prayer to the Prince of Peace, he says. He calls for concrete reconciliation. I strongly object to the refusal to allow the Holy Mass at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. I extend my words of support. Palm Sunday marks the beginning of Holy Week for Christians. This action of the Israeli police, which I condemn, are expressed disrespect to Christianity and Christendom. Yeah, people are not happy about this. Emmanuel Macron popping off, of all people. Free exercise of worship in Jerusalem must be guaranteed for all religions. I've given instructions to summon the ambassador of Israel to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs tomorrow to obtain clarification to why they prevented Catholics from celebrating. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni condemns it. Everyone's condemning it. Unacceptable. He's putting himself at risk during the war. This is his job as a priest. Let them enter Jerusalem. Object in the mirror are closer than they appear, right? The full crusades take over. So this is interesting. People are saying the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was attacked, the holy site in Christianity. In response, the Pope launched the First Crusade to defend the church. This Christianity, sacrificial love for others, very upsetting. So people are really angry about it. Being denied entrance to the church, powerful moment. He blessed the city of Jerusalem with the relic of the Holy Cross. He had service at the foot of the Mount of Olives instead. Today, Israel blocked Catholics from their most holy site, the Holy Sepulchre, one of the most holy days of Palm Sunday from worship. Yeah. Bad. Totally outrageous and inexcusable. Not a good look. Are they going to fix it? You gotta. I mean, obviously, you're already dealing with a tinderbox. You better act and act fast. And this just seems like is just outright and overt Christian persecution by the Israeli state. That is what this is. There is no other explanation. So hopefully there's apologies and they make a big show of allowing now Christians to celebrate and worship in our Holy Week. Otherwise lose even further support for the state of Israel. This is what it is, right? Yeah. It's your boy Benny. We'll be following this as we have, the entire time locked in on, what happens in the book of Revelation. What chapter are we living today? It's your boy Benny. See ya.